So, a group of Democrats, there's ladies, some lady Democrats are introducing a bill for a multi-trillion-dollar reparations bill to eliminate the wealth gap between whites and so-called blacks. So here we go. So this is Representative Summer Lee. Now y'all know that Summer Lee is doing it with not Isaiah. Her name is what is that lady's name with the bald head? Oh man, y'all know who I'm talking about. Ayanna Pressley. Ayanna Pressley. They both doing this. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
Of mine who have stood with us, who are continuing to stand with us as we fight back against the whitewashing of our history, the obstruction of justice, and the flat out denial of our voices in Black lives. I am deeply humbled today to be reintroducing the Reparations Now resolution. This resolution was first led by my sister in service, the formidable Cori Bush, who has, thank you. Sister Cori has long sought to repair the injustices that plague our communities, has stood on the front line on intersectional movements and continues to do that. From whether she's inside of the House of Congress or she's outside, we can always rely on her to stand up and to come back and to stand with us. And to be clear, she and I and we stand here not just as a member and former member of Congress, but of descendants of enslaved ancestors, of people whose labor built this country, whose humanity had been denied for centuries. So we're here to say that there's no more waiting, no more watering down, no more putting justice on layaway. Black folks are owed more than thoughts and prayers. Yes. And we're owed repair, we're owed restitution, and we're owed justice. We're reintroducing this critical resolution today because contrary to the desperate, defensive, and deeply inaccurate arguments against justice and equity in this country, attacks on equality, Black economic opportunity, Black health, Black wealth, and so much more are not just a ghost of the past, but they are a very present and ongoing legacy that we are living.
Hold on. Somebody said, who was the Asian lady in the back? The Asian lady at that Chinese store that always show love? Don't lie. Y'all know it's always that one Chinese lady that show love to you in the hood. Don't lie.
Right now. I saw that our friends at Fox News have already picked this up. They scooped us. And as we know, depending on who picks up a story, there's different framings. And it's always interesting to see what framing they're going to use. So some folks like to frame the debate around reparations as Black folks simply complaining about wrongs done in a distant past to our ancestors that nobody today is guilty of. But we know that's not just ahistorical, it's ignoring the reality of today. On today, we are still living through the effects of the brutal kidnapping and trafficking.
Hold on, wait a minute. Even though she about to say Africans, I like how she set that up. That part right there, even though she's saying, let me repeat that part one more time. Hold on, I like that.
And as we know, depending on who picks up a story, there's different framings. And it's always interesting to see what framing they're going to use. So some folks like to frame the debate around reparations as Black folks simply complaining about wrongs done in a distant past to our ancestors that nobody today is guilty of. But we know that's not just ahistorical, it's ignoring the reality of today. On today, we are still living through the effects of the brutal kidnapping and trafficking of Africans. And
I like how, I'm not gonna lie, I like how she set that up. I like that. That was pretty good. That was a good setup.
System of chattel enslavement that ushered this country into existence. We're living through the effects of a government-sanctioned system of sharecropping that replaced it in lieu of reparations to the freed Black Americans who had nothing but their names, an eviction notice, few legal protections, and nowhere to go. We're still living through the government-sanctioned Jim Crow segregation laws that kept Black Americans from equal or sometimes any access to education, jobs, homes, political representation, or safety, no legal recourse for persistent acts of terrorism like public lynching or massacres of towns like Tulsa and Rosewood and so many more. We're still living.
Okay. Wait a minute. Who is she? Let me follow her on Twitter real quick. Okay. Hold up. I like this. Wait a minute. 2 likes so far. Hold up. Nah. But she Democrat, ain't she? God damn it. She Democrat, but nah, I mean, hold up. I like that. I could probably send her some information though. Hold on, her name was Republican what? No, I mean, not Republican, Representative Summer Lee. She a Democrat. Hold up though. She may listen to some information that we got. Yeah, here she go. Yeah, I'm gonna send her some stuff. Okay. Y'all want me to rewind that back?
We're still living through the government-sanctioned Jim Crow segregation laws that kept Black Americans from equal or sometimes any access to education, jobs, homes, political representation, or safety. No legal recourse for persistent acts of terrorism like public lynching or massacres of towns like Tulsa and Rosewood and so many more. We're still living through the government-sanctioned voter disenfranchisement, followed by government-sanctioned discriminatory housing.
Yeah, hold on, bro. Yeah, three. Okay. I'm mad that she a Democrat. Okay.
Mass incarceration and more. The harms done to enslaved Africans and subsequently their descendants for generations to follow are innumerable, but they are well documented.
That's what she messed up at.
And persistent. We often hear that slavery was a thing of the past, that our country no longer allows segregation, that Black folks has every access to opportunity available to them, but yet we see how easily centuries of progress and struggles are erased and undone. With a stroke of a pen, the president was able to say that diversity, equity, and inclusion are not policies or practices or goals that our government or institutions or businesses should implement, even while Black folks are demonstrably underrepresented across colleges.
Okay, all right. Now you messing up. Because it never worked for us. It never worked for us. I mean, hold on. Let me see who our representative is real quick. I need to send her some stuff. Hold on. Let me see her assistant real quick. I need to educate her real quick. Where's she from? Philly? Yeah, she from Philly. Okay. Shout out to Philly. She went to Penn State. Oh, and she went to Howard? She 37. I need to talk to her.
Higher education, jobs, and all other indices of success or outward mobility. With a stroke of a pen, a president thinks he can eliminate the Office of Civil Rights at the DOJ and the Department of Education, that he can eliminate the Department of Education altogether. With a stroke of a pen, the president thinks he can eliminate thousands of good Black jobs and the mass layoff of federal workers, and by a vote of justice.
Stop. No, that didn't happen. It wasn't no Black jobs. What do you mean Black jobs, sister? What you mean by that? He did get rid of federal workers because he was dissolving particular departments because, they caught them stealing money. But as far as saying Black jobs, what you mean? Sister, what are you referring to?
We can eliminate affirmative action. Reparations are owed because there is a debt that is owed. But more than anything, this moment shows us that the fate of justice and equality and fairness and opportunity for the current living and descendant people of government-sanctioned discrimination or oppression can't be left to the whims of any administration.
See, but keep in mind, if that was the case, then you wouldn't have said that, getting rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, is going to help us, because if that was the case, it was already there, including affirmative action. So saying that it's still, you contradicting, saying that it's still happening means that it wasn't working for us in the first place.
Government has created a harm. It has a duty to repair. So let's make it clear. There is a debt that does exist. This country has taken so much from Black folks and has a debt it owes, because for over 400 years into this very day,
here they go with that number.
Black labor, Black lives, Black futures. Industries were built and maintained through the subjugation of Black people in this country, and wealth was built and maintained through the discriminatory policies that still plague us to this day. And to be clear, some people directly benefited from it or are direct beneficiaries of it. We have systems.
I agree with 85% of what she's saying.
Imbalances in our society, and you either benefit from it or you are disenfranchised by it. And Black people continue to be disenfranchised and harmed by these systems. Others receive advantages from it. So it was no accident that the Federal Housing Authority denied Black families the ability to purchase homes in certain neighborhoods, and to this day
that's
are
correct.
more likely to be denied a mortgage, while white families were able to build homes.
That's correct.
Wealth. It's no accident that veterans were dishonorably discharged so that they couldn't reap the benefits of the GI Bill. While
That's correct, too.
veterans were provided education and training benefits to kickstart opportunities for their descendants. It's no accident that highways and transportation and infrastructure projects tore our communities apart and bulldozed black neighborhoods to the ground.
And businesses.
Because
that's redlining.
Black folks did everything right by building our own communities, our own schools, our own banks,
our own
churches,
banks. That's
they can
correct.
Still be destroyed in a matter of moments. The reality is that
I hate when they do this. I hate when they tell the truth and then turn around and talk about some descendants of Africans, blackity black. Man. Okay.
We have a maternity mortality crisis. We are more likely to live in polluted areas.
Yes.
More so than any others because the federal government made it that way. So even though folks today have never owned an enslaved human being, so many are still the direct beneficiaries of the policies and systems and institutions that have made and been put in place. And we know there will be pushback. And we've all seen the pushback. And we've worked through it. It's why we're here today. Reparations are a proposal to level the playing field, but the only way we could ever have a level playing field is by remedying the harms that have been done by the system. So we need real, concrete action. We need policies that close the racial wealth gap, eliminate black maternal health disparities, fund education, address environmental racism in our communities, and we need reparations. It is a moral obligation and a debt that this country owes. So today, with my colleagues and with our coalition and movement, I say it again, reparations now, not later, not someday, and not when it's politically convenient. So we're here today to hear the stories of black folks, to reaffirm our history and our place in it, but also
reaffirm our history and our place in it.
As being and having been exploited in this country. So without further ado, I thank you, and I believe that I'm going to pass the mic to my sister in service and original sponsor of this resolution, Cori Bush.
Oh, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon.
Many thanks to
Let me look her up, Cori Bush,
for your leadership and for taking up this mantle and moving it forward.
There you go with the moving it forward.
So
that's
so
a Democrat.
Proud, and I'm so honored to be here with you, to see you shining in all of.
All right, she's from St. Louis, Missouri, 48.
Push this forward with the help of all of the people up here. I'm just so proud of you and so excited for you. And to all the groups, thank you for your tireless work, for your thankless work. And without you, this would not move forward. Without you all, because the people in Congress can't do this alone. Today, we stand here in the shadow of centuries of injustice and in the light of our ancestors' unbreakable spirit. Today, we say what too many are afraid to say: reparations now. When I decided to run for office years ago, one of my priorities was to come here and move the needle on reparations in a transformative way, to see what the internal barriers are in Congress and to work to overcome them. I also knew I wanted to introduce legislation, and as we heard from Representative Lee, we actually did that. So in 2023, after working with all of the groups represented here and so many more for more than a year, back and forth working on this legislation. Woo! Together, we introduced the Reparations Now resolution. It was a labor of love. Because the thing is this: why would I, a descendant of enslaved black people on both sides of my family and in all of my chocolate glory, not prioritize reparations here in this house? Right. And again, I'm so glad that Rep. Lee decided in all of her chocolate glory to make it a priority as well.
Okay. A chocolate priority. Okay.
To the colleagues of mine.
I'm looking up her information real quick. I wanted to see what she has done so far, because she was saying that she originally introduced this bill, and I'm a little concerned about that, because all of you guys are, getting it from one other person directly, Let me double check real quick. But I mean, I'm surprised they not just giving the props to John Conyers. John Conyers started it in 1989, and I don't see where. I don't see where. I mean, she was 18 years old in 1994. So John Conyers was around before her. So what do you mean that she was the one that introduced this reparations bill? Yeah, I still don't see it. I'm looking for her bill. Nope, this is not it neither. The only thing that she did was she did something on abortions. She did something on affirmative action, gun control, Iran, Israel, Palestine, Russia, Syria. Bro, what are you talking about? Okay, hold on. Wait, what's this? Criminal justice reform, abortions, Medicaid for all, a $15 minimum wage, tuition-free state college and trade school, and canceling student debt. She was endorsed by and is a member of the Democrat Socialists of America. She supports the boycott, divestment, and sanctions, and has called Israel an apartheid state. She stands with, quote, unwavering with Black Lives Matters demands. She advocated for defunding the United States Armed Forces. What? Like, No. I'm not falling for this. In fact, let me unfollow Summer Lee because this ain't going nowhere. I'm over here. I got that little hype because they sprinkled in a lot of truth in there. They not. I mean, what y'all think? Should I send this stuff to her? Because this probably gonna be a waste of my time. Because they got overseers, you know what I mean? It's not like they're gonna do anything with it. And they probably have this information. They put it in their writing when they mentioned it. I think this will be a waste of my time, to be honest with you. It's not like they're gonna actually do something about it for real. They just doing that to big themselves up to, keep their campaign trails up and, keep it going, making it look like they're actually doing something for so-called Black people now. I'm gonna need y'all to continue to vote for me. So right now, we reintroducing a bill, a federal resolution for reparations. Here we go. Actually, I'm looking at it now. Why are they saying that it was first introduced First introduced in 2023 by former Representative Cori Bush. Why? Well, I don't understand. Why are they saying that? John Conyers was way before her. Bush's reparations now resolution comes after the California Reparations Task Force approved this month and a series of proposals to pay each descendant of slavery living in the state up to 1.2 million. Wait. When? But the discussion around reparations has been California. Hold up. Wait, this was last year? No way. When was this? Let me see this. 1.2 million for who? Wait, we'll vote on that didn't get approved. Hold on, they acting like this got approved. Proposals this weekend. Let's see, what date was this? Nah, this is old as hell. Series of documents published Monday, task force indicated it will vote. Hell nah. Will cost more than $800 billion. Yeah, this guy, Galvin Newsom ain't do nothing with this. No. Don't fall for this, y'all. This is same old. Don't fall for this. Man, I hate when they do that. Because that girl sprinkled in a lot of truth in there and then turned right around, and this ain't about to go nowhere. Especially with the Democrats all over it. And they still gotta go through Congress, go through governors. This about to land flat, just as well as the California Reparations Task Force talking about something 1.2 million each. That ain't go nowhere. Yeah, and I'm looking at it now. That was back in May, and they dissolved that January. I don't want to hear that. Or that June, one or the other. June or January. Correction. June or July. June or July is when they dissolved. Yeah, they didn't. The California Reparations Task Force ain't go nowhere. But But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is move on to what I wanted to show y'all. So it's this heifer on Twitter.